LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I
filed my return,
but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do?
My refund, though. I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
Before we jump in, let's be real. This podcast contains jokes, laughter, and a whole lot of real talk. Yes, we cover serious crimes. Yes, we add a little humor, but never, and I mean never, at the expense of the victims or their families. If you're sensitive, easily offended, or the type to clutch your pearls every time someone laughs during a true crime story, this may not be the podcast for you. But if you like your true crime with a little bit of spice, a lot of honesty, and just enough petty to keep it fun, welcome to Melanin Mysteries, baby. Let's get into it. Welcome back to Melanin Mysteries. And if this is your first time stopping by to our little true crime corner of the internet, we truly appreciate you pulling up. So go ahead, get comfortable. But before you do, if you did not hear the disclaimer, at this point, I don't even know what to tell you because we do things a little different around these parts. We are raw, we are honest, we are going to give you the facts. And yes, we are going to talk our shit. And that may or may not be your vibe, and that is okay. We are not for everybody, but for the ones who get it, baby, you have just found your new home. Now, to our cousins, how was y'all week? Valentine's Day just passed, and we hope it was full of love, joy, soft life energy, and nobody lost their life or a limb. Because listen, it is getting real out in these streets. And speaking of love and joy, real quick, is anybody gonna be at Essence Fest? Because baby, we gonna be outside. We are pulling up to New Orleans for our 2-year anniversary. That is 2 years of true crime mess, adulterated shenanigans, and cousin behavior.
Yes, I'm trying to see some titties. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Don't interrupt during the intro. And yes, you know y'all favorite country girl. She gonna be pulling up with us. It's gonna be a melanin mashup. I'm so excited. So details are coming soon, but just know that NOLA, we are on the way. So if you're gonna be there, stay tuned because we may have some real cute plans. Now, okay, couple church announcements because it has been a minute. Now, first, to the ladies who joined us for Ladies Night, and baby, I enjoyed y'all so much. It was more than just a virtual storytelling event. Like it was a whole vibe, the conversation, the laughs, the transparency. It was 10 out of 10. We heard y'all, and we are absolutely working on more virtual and possibly some in-person events. Now, the Cousin Confessions, it is live. Subscribers, what did y'all think? Questions, concerns, with your jaw on the floor like ours because the cousins was spilling it. And if you haven't tapped in on the subscription side, what are you doing with your life? Because the Cousin Confessions drop bi-weekly on Saturdays. And if you got something to get off your chest, the anonymous link is in the show notes. So go ahead and spill it because this is a safe-ish space. We listen, we gonna judge a little bit, but it's all in fun. Next, One Bad Night. My solo episodes have officially arrived. Now, subscribers get them first every other Saturday on the off weeks of the Cousin Confessions, and they are ad-free. And then I'll put them on the main feed for the following Thursday. So VIP has its perks. I'm just saying. Head over to Spotify, join the inner circle. Because you know what Breezy said, you can't hate from outside the club. You can't even get in.
And these hoes ain't loyal. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Not during intro. But don't worry because the doors are wide open. We are accepting applications. Just come on in. Just all you gotta do is click and they will tell you how to get in. So now that we handle business, let's dive into this week's case because this is the case of Andre Jackson and Marie Singleton Jackson. Now, Marie was reportedly a secret CIA operative. Her disappearance raised serious questions about was this a covert mission gone wrong or something far more sinister happening much closer to home. Now, we're going to give a shout out to Sharonda Denise for this case recommendation. You did your big one with this. And today is extra special because we have a guest host joining us. It is one of our listeners in the building. Willie, I'm calling you out. Please be on your best behavior because we have company today. So please don't show out. Okay? All right.
Damn. Okay.
We are going to get into it. So I'm your host, Tiffany.
I'm your co-host, Willie. And who is our special guest?
I am Maya, second co-host. Hello, y'all.
Yeah, and Maya used to be in church plays. You know what I'm saying?
You
She
feel
did.
me?
She is
I'm
in Sister
ready.
Act. Yeah, she is in Sister Act 2 and 3. You know what I'm saying? We get an eye on a sparrow in this bitch. All right, y'all. So let's get it.
Wanted to do was get away from this man. And I mean far away. Different zip code, different state, different life. Because at one point, I swear I thought he was my happily ever after. The answers to my prayers, the man God sent to step in and be the father figure my son needed. But somewhere along the way, my fairy tale turned into a horror story. And you know what they say, everything that glitters ain't gold. Sometimes it's just polished manipulation. I fell hard. I fell fast, so fast that maybe I missed the signs. Or maybe he was just really, real good at hiding them. Because the man I thought I married and the man I ended up living with were two completely different people. And now there's a baby involved, and it ain't just me. It's about me and my boys. And when you're a mother, your instincts start screaming before your mouth ever does. So, yes, something wasn't right. There was tension, there was control, and the feeling that I was shrinking in my own home. And I knew I had to leave and take my boys, start over, rebuild, protect my peace. But unfortunately, I never got the chance. And as Willie said, that right there is how you win an Oscar.
Well, actually, no, I'm gonna say no. I might give you a BET award for that, but we ain't gonna go for no damn Oscar. All right. So, so here we go, cuzzo. So boom. Let's rewind this thing because this is where everything goes straight to hell. We're headed back to 1994, November 11th to be exact. Marie's oldest son, Marcus, is only 8 years old. Just a little boy in the house doing what little boys do. Sitting up watching Looney Tunes, completely locked in, like don't even talk to him right now. Bud Bunny is on, right? Maria says something to him, but Marcus is still, half listening, just like kids do, because that boy is in his cartoon and doing what he's doing. Eventually, he falls asleep right there in front of the TV. But he wakes up later, not because it's morning or somebody called his name. He wakes up because his baby brother, Marquise, is crying. And not no little whimper either. Baby is hollering, right? Like somebody come get me right now. So Marcus is laying there confused because he's like, why ain't my mom getting him? You know what I'm saying? Why isn't Andre getting him? So he gets up, goes to check on him. Marquise is only 8 months old, just a little baby. He crying his head off. Marcus looks around and Maria's nowhere to be found. No mom, no stepdad, just him and a screaming infant. A few minutes go by, and then the phone rings. It's Andre calling, asking, where's Marie? Marcus tells him he doesn't know, but the baby won't stop crying and he can't get him to calm down. Andre says he'll be there shortly. So now you got an 8-year-old little boy stuck trying to soothe an 8-month-old baby while both parents are just missing in action. And cuzzos, that's when you know something just ain't right. Now that's how you do a damn intro. Okay,
Well,
go
that
ahead.
wasn't the intro, so let's keep it moving.
I
Damn.
guess
Now,
my church plays ain't do as much as I thought. My bad, y'all.
ignore him. Ignore him. I already told him not to act up when we have company. He just can't get right. We gonna take him up to the altar tomorrow. So, mind you, Marie Henrietta Singleton, she was not just anybody. She was born August 12th, 1961. So what is that, Leo gang? And honestly, we don't have a whole lot of her upbringing. We just know she had a sister named Elaine. I think she was from Pennsylvania. I think Philly, somewhere around there. But one thing was clear. Maria was that girl. She was ambitious, driven, beautiful. She was 90s fine. Like y'all know 90s fine, like the what is the TikTok challenge? Y'all don't.
You done
I,
lost me there because I don't know nothing about this.
yeah, I'm
So
like, what are we talking about? No, man.
like y'all haven't seen like the my mama said she was fine back in the day, and then
Oh
like they go
yeah.
to the
Actually, yes, I have
video.
seen those. I should participate because my mama was definitely knocking heads loose. But
Oh yeah, I saw a picture of your mama with her fine there. Tell her to hit me slide in my DM. Go ahead
So
though.
she
Oh,
was the kind of
okay.
fine where she she just had it. She had the bone straight hair, the little power suit, and the walk that made people move out her way.
Mm.
And she was a proud mama. Her son Marcus was her heart. Now his daddy wasn't around, so it was just Marie and Marcus, tight little duo. Just the two of them against the world. And baby, Marie wasn't out here struggling. She had herself a good government job. Now publicly, she worked for the Department of Defense. Okay, stay with me. But behind closed doors, and only a handful of people even knew, Marie was actually working for the CIA. Yes, the CIA. A black woman in the CIA in the 90s? Please, that is not regular or average. That is top tier. Don't play with her. So sis was out here traveling, handling business, doing things folks couldn't even speak on out loud. And she still made sure her son was right there with her. So they eventually settled down near LA, and she was building stability in a life. But like so many of us, she wanted more. She wanted that love story, the husband, the house, the family picture that makes people on the outside go, oh. And she wanted her son to have a father figure. And listen, because I get it. We all want love. But I'm telling y'all right now, sometimes when you're looking for love too hard, you end up grabbing the first thing that looks like it might fit, even if it's got red flags hanging off of like Christmas ornaments. And that is where Andre Jackson enters the chat. Now, Andre, he was a single father of two. And I ain't even gonna hold you. I can't even sit here and pretend that man was fine. I mean, he was light skinned. That was a hot commodity in the 90s. But that was all I had.
Yeah,
That was
that
for the
like
compliment.
he
Sorry.
was the
Stop.
the light skinned niggas went out in the 80s, so he
I
was
just want to personally say I never liked light skinned niggas. Just to say, even though I know I got a white man now, which is funny, but never really liked the light skin.
Well, hold the hell on.
I
So
always
you
love me a little good light skinned man.
hold up, wait a minute. You went from a light skinned to a white skinned. You know what I'm
So
saying?
did.
You
So did.
he jumped from the skillet to the fire. God damn.
And if you knew me before and you would hear how much shit I talk, you would be so amazed.
Oh man, I got questions, but we're gonna wait till later on. But go ahead, Tiffany. Go ahead, Tiffany. I got questions. Tiffany, go ahead.
Okay, because Andre, he had like this milk dud shaped head, and then he had them shifty eyes, like the kind that look like make your granny pause mid sentence and say, I don't trust that nigga. But anyway, somehow 1993 rolls around, they meet, they fall in love, and before anybody could blink, Marie is pregnant and having a secret wedding. Like, it went from nice to meet you to here go my vows in record time.
Who that sound like? Not me.
You.
Oh, damn.
Mr. 60-Day Fiance.
Well,
And baby,
goddamn.
when it moves that fast, it's usually because somebody is rushing you past the part where you should have been asking questions. And that is where the real story begins. I don't know how you do it. I can't do it. I need to know. I need to see, because I feel like people can be fake for a while and then you see their real colors. I need some time. That's how I
mean,
got
my
tricked up
thing
the
is, at
last
the end of the
time.
day, nigga, it's people that you didn't heard about. I done dated this nigga for 3 years, and I done seen a side of him that I ain't never seen.
I do
That's
feel
because
like
you have to wait it out.
No, go
I
ahead.
was
What you
gonna
gonna say?
I was gonna say I do feel like people wear masks in life, like they don't really show you their true selves when you first meet them. But eventually it's gonna slip and you're gonna see it. And if you refuse to see that, then that's just your problem.
Hey
But
man,
they're not able to keep it up all the time, every day.
you
Then
can't.
if
Yeah.
you refuse to believe that, then you just as dumb as they are.
Or you know what? And another thing, I will say that I'm telling you, usually it's science in the very beginning. Like real quick, I want to make it a bit story so we could get back to what we doing. Love bombing. That's a red flag right there. Love
But
bombing,
but some
a red
people don't
flag.
like it. If depending on how like it's done, sometimes you can't necessarily see it. You know what I'm saying?
What love bombing?
Yeah.
Because I think people don't see it because a lot of people used to get in, treat like shit. So the first nigga that come along and do it, but as you really, like I said, that's why you got to take time to truly heal for yourself so you can start really paying attention to shit. That's what it is. Niggas don't take time to heal. We talk about that all the time. You know what I'm saying? Niggas
Oh,
don't
show don't niggas or females, nobody does.
Nobody take time to heal. They literally jump in one thing right into another. And that's it, you dating white men. So the point I'm making is,
Whoa, whoa,
so
whoa, whoa,
hold on, what
whoa.
I say? Hold on, what I say? What the hell
Not
I
too
say?
much. Not too. That was a
What I
little bit
say?
of a leap.
No, what I
That
say?
was a
I'm
leap.
sorry. I apologize. Was that in the notes? That wasn't in the notes? God damn, I'm sorry about that. So look. So Andre and Marie are married now, right? And Andre already had 2 children. He had a daughter named Andrea and a son named Andre Jr. Niggas know they be with our kid, we be naming them, keeping all the same letters and everything. So you know,
They want them named after their daddy. Man, it's so many people I know, and you be like, oh, you was named after your daddy,
I
wasn't
gonna name
you?
my daughter Wilhelmina, but they just didn't work out right. It just
I'm
didn't.
glad you didn't. Ugh.
Goddamn, I'm glad I didn't
I'm
either.
gonna go ahead and say no, sir. No,
Now
sir.
I agree
Don't.
with you.
I'm
I
glad
look
you ain't do
back.
that.
I look back and I realized that was a young nigga mistake. I mean, granted, I had my daughter when I was 17, so I was young. I didn't know shit. But anyway, so you know they trying to do their little family thing, blending households, making it work. Marie had, her one child, Marcus. Andre had two. So now it's giving instant family. And at first, Andre made it seem like everything was good. Like things were going smooth, everyone was happy, and this was really about to be their fresh start. Andre also had siblings, an older brother, a sister, and then a younger brother named Marquise. So it's a whole family dynamic. And for a moment, it looks like they might actually ride off into the sunset like so many women dream of. But y'all already know this is not why we're here today because things were not as perfect as they look on the outside.
Now listen, everything that glitters is not gold, as I'm sure some of y'all mamas have told y'all. Because from the outside looking in, it really did look like this happy little family. You know, a new marriage, a new baby, everybody's playing house, they going through their honeymoon phase, kissy kissy, love me long time. But on the inside, it was miserable.
Mm,
They got married March 1994, and by the time November rolled around, which is what, 6 months, it was
yeah,
already a complete mess. Constant arguing, constant tension, and nothing at all was peaceful. No peace at all. I'm talking about going to house and argue every day.
that's the
And
worst.
mind you, honestly, imagine going home, you argue at work, and you go to home and you argue. You don't
Yeah.
get no peace ever. So, mind you, Marie had just had the baby. So little Marquise was only about 8 months old and still basically a newborn. So imagine that. You haven't been together even 2 years. You already have a baby, and things are so bad that divorce is already on the table. Now, I don't know about y'all, but that I don't think that's normal. That's not newlywed blues. That's not how a new couple should behave in a marriage. And it's a full blown sticky situation.
Damn.
Now we're back to the date of November 11th, 1994. And here comes Andre. He comes home, and like we said, Marcus had been there with the baby. Marie still isn't there. Now, Andre had said earlier that he left his daughter, Andrea, over at his grandmother's house. So he's thinking maybe Marie went over there. Maybe she's just at the grandmama house. So because that day he had actually gone to see his son Andre Jr. playing a football game, and Marie was supposed to go with him, according to Andre, but he said that she had been drinking, so she decided to stay at home. This man. So now, mind
Shit,
you,
that's the
Marie was
best
also
time to
supposed to
watch
pick
the
up.
little niggas play ball. Know what I'm saying? After a couple drinks. Shit. Sorry. Go ahead.
I don't know who's more stressful, man. Okay, so like I said, Andre had said he went to go see his son play football. Marie was supposed to go with him, but she had been drinking, so she decided she was going to stay home. Now, mind you, Marie was also supposed to pick up Andrea from her grandmother's house. So when Andre gets to the grandma's house, Marie's not there. I have questions, but I'm gonna keep going. So, and he's like, "Hey, have y'all seen her? Is she here? But she's nowhere to be found."
Mm.
So we're gonna backtrack and talk about the day that what she did during the day. So she spent the day shopping with her friend Jean Jones Apfel. I think that's how you said the last name. He had the boys with her. Regular day, nothing dramatic. She comes home. Like we said, Andre Jr. had a football game. Andre goes. And she stayed home because she had been drinking. Cool, right? Okay. So Marcus said we said he saw his mom at the house before he fell asleep, but when he wakes up, baby Marquise is crying. Marie is gone. Now let's be clear. Marie had never left her kids at home alone ever. That wasn't her. So already this is off. The next day, November 12th, Andre reports her missing. Now here's his story. He said he came home, she'd been drinking, he argued, or they argued, he left. And when he came back, she was gone, her car was gone. He like, I'm calling family and friends before calling the police. But let me tell y'all, this man got on the phone with the police and he's reporting his wife missing. But then he told the detective, like, hey, I gotta go. I have a quote previous engagement.
Ain't no
Mm.
way.
Red
What
flag.
kind of engagement is more important than your wife missing?
That's what I'm saying, sir.
That's
Your wife is
terrifying.
missing, but you're booked and busy. The police even said it was odd. Like Okay.
Book the PC.
So we're gonna back up a few hours before he called the police. He actually went over to Jean's house because Marie had been with her, earlier the day before, as they seen her. So Jean was like, not since we left the mall. So Jean's husband, his name was Raymond. He was like, he noticed that Andre had a busted lip. So then he asked him about it, and Andre was like, "Oh, I ran into my son's football helmet. Like, we was cheering. He didn't see me come up behind him. He hit me. My lip got busted, and then he has scratches on his hand. So you got a busted lip, you got scratches, and a wife who just disappeared. I'm gonna need you to be serious.
Book them,
Exactly.
lock them up, lock them
Lock
up,
'em up.
lock them up.
So at this point, Marie has been missing for about 24 hours. And Andre, he's just panicking. He's got the baby, he's got the other kids, and his wife is just gone, so he says. So that weekend, friends stay in to help. They start putting together a person's flyer. They start handing them out. And, as you're doing that, when you make a missing person flyer, details matter. You need a clear photo, it has to be good quality. Even a nice description of what the person had on last can help. And it needs to be accurate, because that's the whole point. Strangers need to be able to recognize this person. So one of the friends said that Andre's flyer was, to put it nicely, it was low quality. The picture wasn't clear. It didn't include any information about her or her car, not the type of car, the license plate, nothing. But overall, it just wasn't giving urgency. It's not giving, I really want to find my wife. It's giving, I don't really want y'all to even look for her. I don't even want y'all to know she's missing at this point.
I ain't gonna lie though, the one who shall be not be named, if she went missing, I probably wouldn't put no urgency on that shit. I would.
That was okay. She wasn't your wife either. You barely liked the girl.
Exactly. I was like, man, shit, man. I wish her nothing but the best, man. I got prior engagements. Bye, player.
Relevancy, sir. Relevancy.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead. Continue. My bad.
And then Andre suggested that they pass out the flyers at the beach near his mother's house. And then his friends are like, okay, the beach? She didn't like the beach. Why would we go hand them out at the beach? Why are you focused on places that she wasn't even known to go? So it was definitely, to them, it struck as an odd suggestion. So if it's odd to them, let alone how it looks to everybody else.
Yep.
Right. Now, I'm going to hop back in because this part is when it gets real. So it's been over 24 hours at this point. It's Saturday. Marita missed her hair appointment.
God damn it, you right there. Hold on, stop right there. That's how you know it's an issue.
I gotta say, as a female, missing your hair appointment is
Now it's different.
No call, no show. We don't do that.
It's like it's
okay.
different. It's different if the hairstylist cancel on you. Now that happens. But for the person to miss it, yeah, you already know something ain't right.
Right. And she in the 90s with a standing appointment. That alone tells me
She need her, what do they call the doobies, the doo-wops, the whatever she needed it right then. If she had an appointment for it and she missed it, y'all need to be looking for her yesterday.
These finger waves ain't gonna wave theyself.
No,
Go ahead.
for real. Because this is routine. Like they said, Marie did not play about her hair. She did not play about her appearance, and she was not out here just for getting appointments. So her stylist actually calls the house. And remember, we're in the 90s. Marie had a cell phone, but back then, people used the house phone like it was law. Like cell phones didn't even become like a real thing until like the 2000s. So the stylist calls like, hey, Marie, she didn't show up to her appointment. That's not like her. So Andre answers, and instead of acting like a man whose wife is missing, he starts telling this woman that Marie had been drinking and she stormed out after her argument. Sir, why is that her business? She is the stylist, not the marriage counselor. She didn't ask you for that information. Then, because Andre can't stay on the phone to save his life, he suddenly has to go. Talk about he need to go check on a plumbing problem. Sir, your wife is missing. But the
okay, so hold up. First time, it was you got a prior engagement. And now you got a plumbing. Like, how many problems do you have within the day,
I'm
sir?
just saying, nigga,
That's
that
more
shit,
important than your wife missing
Let me
at
tell
that.
you something about plumbing issue, nigga. That toilet running, them water bills be expensive as hell. So I'm just throwing it out there. All right, maybe
So you're defending him. That's
I'm
crazy.
not defending. I'm just saying sometimes, you got to be like, hold on, man. I mean, if Jesus wanted to found, she'll be found. I got to take care of right, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Let me quit.
So
Jeez.
every time somebody asks about Marie, Andre got a reason to exit stage left. Police call, he's got an engagement. Stylist call, he got plumbing. Next is gonna be, I gotta go rotate my tires. Like, I need you to be serious. So the stylist, like, she described Marie as someone who had a very strong personality, very put together, very particular. Like, she said she was like meticulous. So first off, Marie was not leaving the house if she wasn't dressed right. She was not sloppy. She was not careless, and she was not the type to just disappear and leave her kids behind. So now we're supposed to believe that she stormed out drunk, missed her hair appointment, left her kids, vanished into thin air. Cause are y'all buying that? Cause I'm not.
No.
Absolutely not. You called me at the hairstylist, but then baby leaving her kids and she's a
Hell
dedicated
no.
mama.
And
I don't
speak,
believe she left.
I don't
You can't
believe it.
make me believe she left her kids.
And this ain't got nothing to do with it, but I think all light skinned women never look good with finger waves. I just want to throw that out there. Know what I'm saying?
What does that have to do with
I
anything?
don't know. I just thought about it. Yeah, light skinned women do not look good with finger waves. Just want to throw that out there. So anyway,
That ADHD is den, huh, Willie?
it's Den right now. So now Sunday, November 13th rolls in, and Andre suddenly has another story, right? He tells the stylist and another friend that he still hasn't heard from Marie, right? But then he says he's been paged a couple times, and he believes one of those pages came from a club in Mexico. Yes, I said it, Mexico. And Andre
That's
claims,
random.
right. And Andre
So we're
claims,
supposed to believe she probably ended up in Mexico.
I
Okay, buddy.
mean, when niggas lie, they be going completely left with this.
He really took it overseas with
I
that one.
mean, he really did, right? And Andre claims that he thinks Marie went down there with her ex-boyfriend. Now, cuzzos. Do you hear how random that sounds? Your wife had been missing for 2 days, and instead of focusing on finding her, you're throwing out these wild ass stories about her running off to Mexico with her ex-boyfriend. It's like every day the explanation changes, right? First it was the drinking, right? Then it's the storming out. Now it's a so-called ex-boyfriend and them niggas going down to Mexico, right? At this point, Andre's story is not lining up. Actually, they just piling up if we're gonna be real with each other.
And at this point, like I said, they're passing out flyers. Andre has everybody out searching. And yes, they end up down at the beach, passing them out at Dockweiler Beach to be specific, which for context is basically like right next to LAX airport. So now while they're out there, Andre hands a flyer to a man named Timothy Cuniff. Now, Timothy, this man is just minding his non-melanated business, walking along, about to head out. But as he's leaving, he looks over, he like, wait a minute. That car looks familiar. So he pulls out the flyer, looks at the car, looks at the flyer, and he's sure enough, it's the same make, same model. She had a brown gold kind of looking Saab. And she had some money because Saabs was expensive back in the day. Them was exclusive.
I know. I never liked them cars. They're so
Me either.
stupid
They
to
was
me.
ugly, but they was expensive though. Like that's how you had a little bit of coin.
They fast, but they show is ugly.
Show.
Just like my ex-wife. How dare you do? My bad.
I don't know how you just live with that voice for so long. Sweet Jesus, sound like nails
Oh.
scraping on a chalkboard.
I know.
Oh,
This will be the one episode she listened to, right?
I don't care. She get
Hey
attitude every
there.
day.
Hey,
I
mama.
don't care.
Hey
Um.
there.
So anyway, the license plate matches exactly what's printed on Marie's missing persons flyer. So Timothy does what he's supposed to do. He immediately calls the police.
So the police get to the scene, they see the car, and right away, a couple of things stand out to them. Now, first and foremost, cuzzos, the doors are locked from the inside. So what does that tell you? And second, when they look through the window, they can see that Marie's cell phone is sitting inside the car. And it gets even stranger. They go ahead, they pop the hood, and they see that her battery's been removed. So Let's all let's recap all of this. The car is sitting open out in the open. It's right near the beach where she doesn't frequent, basically next to LAX, and it's been disabled. It's not going anywhere. So at this point, police treat this like a major crime scene. They don't just leave it there. So they have the car towed to an impound lot, have it properly processed. And it's there during that close inspection that they open a trunk, and that's where they find her, Marie's body in
Mm.
the trunk.
So the very next day, police find more of Maria's personal items, her credit cards, and her other belongings tossed along the side of the freeway less than 2 miles from her home. So the very next day, police find more of Marie's personal items, her credit cards, and other belongings tossed along the side of the highway, less than 2 miles from her home. What's important is none of it had been used after she disappeared. So this isn't Marie, out here living her new life. This is somebody trying to create a trail. Now, Detective Russell with the Inglewood Police Department was one of the detectives on scene after Marie's body was found. He go back to the station because he prepared to notify Andre. But when he gets there, the boy Andre already there sitting in the police station. And that was kind of odd, right? Because at this point, nobody had announced that Marie had been found. So, nigga, why are you even here? Now they bring Andre in an interview room and he walks them through his version of what happened that night. He says he left work around 5 p.m., got home around 5:10, 5:15. He claims he planned to go to Andre's junior's football game with Marie. But remember, he said she was drinking, so she decided she wanted to stay home. When he comes back, Marie is gone. The boys are alone, and she never picked up Andrea from her grandmother's house like she was supposed to. So then the detectives tell him Marie's car had been found and a woman's body was found in the trunk. And they say Andre immediately collapsed, screaming, kicking his legs, completely hysterical, right? I could just imagine that nigga on the ground kicking his legs.
Honestly, I know he fell out. No, Lord,
That
Yeah,
remind me
no,
of
Lord.
especially because it's not, it's not genuine.
you know who that reminds me of?
What?
Remember Vincent Brothers with the one who killed his
Oh,
whole
yes.
family, and they said he was flopping around on the floor. Sir, get the fuck up off the goddamn
Get your
floor,
fat ass
please.
up
My
off the floor.
nerves, my
Get your
nerves.
fat ass up off the floor. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, so much so that they had to cut the interview short because this nigga was clowning. And Detective Inyert said in all his years, and after notifying hundreds of families about deaths, he had never seen a man respond like that.
That's
Lock
a
him up.
damn shame. That's
Lock
a
him up.
damn shame. Lock him clean, you feel me, under the jail. So, when the autopsy was completed, it was found that Marie died of manual strangulation. And I don't know if y'all know Cuzzos, but that's very personal. It takes a lot of time, a lot of strength. So you have to be all up in their face. You have to be squeezing, lots of pressure. So with that in place, that is why the police are looking so hard at Andre.
Now, so Marie's family, they come in from Philly, right? So her sister Elaine, she flies in. She's trying to process the unthinkable, just trying to make arrangement, just trying to wrap her mind around the fact that her sister is gone. So, she goes to the house before the funeral. She's checking on things. And the minute she walks in, something just feels off. So she starts looking around and she notices holes in the walls. Like, but not the kind of holes like, you might get from you hit a doorknob against the wall too hard. No, these were fist holes. Like somebody had been punching through drywall. And Elaine immediately was like, absolutely not. She called up Inglewood police right away because she knows what that looks like. And this does not happen in a peaceful home. And the detective basically tells her, like, you're not imagining things because he had already been interviewing friends, family, people close to Marie, and they were all describing the same kind of picture: arguments, fear, control, domestic violence behind closed doors. And then the detective tells Elaine something that stopped her cold. He was like, look, Andre is our prime suspect. And believe you me, an arrest is coming soon, possibly even before the funeral. So imagine that, cousins. You come in to bury your sister, and the police are telling you they may be arresting her husband in the same breath. And that's how quickly this had went from a missing person to a homicide to we all know who did that shit.
That's a shame. He ain't even look like he was gonna get away with it.
So the family is under the impression that Andre is going to be arrested by the time of the funeral. The detectives basically told them, we got him as a prime suspect. So they thinking, okay, it's coming. But unfortunately, the arrest never happened. I know them niggas was at the repairs, mad than a motherfucker, man.
What? I would be so mad. Imagine eating fried
Any
chicken. They
minute,
walk in, hey bro,
yeah,
they ain't even arrest him. He ain't in
like,
jail. He
god
just
damn,
walking
man.
free.
Who made the potato
Crazy.
salad? Trying to figure that shit out. Now, police did find blood at the scene where the car was discovered on the hood. But remember, this is 1994. DNA testing was still in its early stages. It wasn't what it is today. So you couldn't just swab something and get instant results. So even though they had suspicions, even though they had inconsistencies, even though they had a body in the trunk, they didn't have forensic technology to tie everything up the way they needed to. And because of that, Andre was not arrested. He just went on living his life. Meanwhile, Marie's son Marcus go back to Philadelphia with Elaine and a family. From everything I saw, he was raised by them. And real quick, on a side note, if y'all get some time, check out Dateline season, what is it? What is it? Season 23, episode 52, Tiffany? Is that what it is? Anyway,
That's what I sent you.
yes. Check
I need one of y'all to send it to me because I want to watch it too.
All right, you
I
gotta
ain't
check
seen
this
it.
out because first of all, two things. Number one, the host, that nigga forehead is big as hell. Like this nigga got a 12 head. That's the one thing. And number two, why is this nigga Marcus?
Don't go in on that man.
I'm
Do
gonna
not
go
in
in on
that
this
I bet
man.
you when you have dreams, you don't have dreams. You
No,
have movies.
this nigga got hey with commercials. Look, this nigga Marcus is on there wearing a tuxedo with a big
No, 'cause
ass
I did
robe.
not just tell you. Did not just tell you don't come for that man with his. He's
Why
fine
is he
too.
wearing
I found him on Facebook. I started to slide in his DM, but I can't talk to people that ain't my friends right now.
But
So
my question is, why is he got that big ass rose like this nigga is going on a
maybe because it
prom
was a
date?
memorial of his mama. At least he didn't come on there like that one lady who had that jacked up lace front that was blonde, and we all knew that wasn't her hair.
Oh,
Like, girl, they could have told you to put at least put
Duly
some
noted.
concealer around that wig. I mean, come
Duly
on now.
noted.
At least he looked nice, okay?
All right, my bad. But I'm just saying, that's a fat ass rose. But anyway, Marquise, the baby, that was, Andre biological son. And from what we understand, he stayed with Andre. And that's right. That's heavy, right? Because imagine losing your mother and then staying in the house of the man police believe might have killed her. Oh, yeah, that part right there. Government layers, secret silence. We keep it as sharp.
all right, cousins. Now, here's where it gets even more complicated because let's not forget who Marie was. She was that girl. She worked for the CIA, not some regular desk job. And we're talking top level security clearance, sensitive information, federal. So, once she's been found murdered, local police aren't the only ones involved anymore. The FBI and the CIA also have to step in because when someone with that kind of clearance dies under suspicious circumstances, you can't just treat that like a standard homicide. That's the big wigs, the big money. So they have to make sure that she didn't go rogue, have to make sure that it wasn't espionage, and they have to make sure that there wasn't some classified angle to all this. So the feds are doing their own research, but here is the problem. They weren't coordinated with the Inglewood police. So they're running a completely separate investigation. So it's just mess after mess. And then the FBI just goes radio silent. No more updates, no collaboration, no public movement. They just said, how about fuck y'all? So now you've got local police suspecting the husband, federal agencies doing their own thing, and nobody's fully aligned. So what happens when these agencies don't communicate? Time passes, weeks turn into months, months turn into years, and just like that, the case goes cold.
I bet you if it was Becky with the good hair,
They'd
be all over that.
You already know. Look at what's going on now.
Oh yes, oh my God, it's so funny that you mentioned that. I was thinking about that, and I didn't even tie it into this case. But you're right. That girl, Mama, is missing, and they going nuts over her going missing. Know what I'm saying? But all these little young black girls that be getting snatched up, and half of them don't even get
They sure don't
televised.
care.
What Michael Jackson saying them song?
They don't really care about us.
No, it
Okay.
was just beat it. But anyway, the point I was making is
What you say?
nothing, Tiffany. Don't pay me no attention. Back in Back in 1994, DNA testing was still in its infancy, right? It wasn't what it is today. So even though they collected the samples, they never actually tested them. So because of that, police said they didn't have enough to charge Andre. Just like that, the case goes cold. Now, fast forward to 2002. There's an FBI agent named John Rick Haddell. And let me tell you something about John Rick Haddell. He's a man from the, how do we explain this, Tiffany?
He's from the mountain of the Caucasus.
A mountain from the Caucasus, right? And you should be familiar with that, young lady. Anyway, he knew Marie. He remembered her case. Back in 94, he was just another agent. Didn't have much pull, but guess what? It's 2002. That nigga that moved up in the world, right? He was in a position to make decisions. And he said he never forgot about her and he never let it go. So he makes the decision, right? He says we're reopening the case. And let me go
As he
ahead.
should.
I tilt my hat and I applaud that white man for doing that. Real talk. I really do.
You
Know what I'm
No,
saying?
know,
I did too, because he could have just
them
left
two
it how
fingers
it was.
touching.
Yes. He could have just left this shit like it was. And he goes there and he tells the people, like, look, we about to go ahead and reopen this case, right? And even when he did the interview, I mean, you could tell he had passion. Like, you could tell this case really bothered him. He was like, I just could not let it go because he investigated and found out, like, it wasn't like she was trying to espionage. Is that what it's called? It wasn't no type of situation like that. Like, no, nigga, something happened. So what he decided to do was change it to an assault on a federal officer. Know what I'm saying? So they about to be on that shit. So that changes the game. Now he pulls in Steve Sealer from the Inglewood Police Department. Inglewood, he brings in other FBI agents. They're calling in favors, reaching out to labs, trying to get them old blood samples tested. But here's the problem. The case is 8 years old at this point. And to the higher ups, they like, nigga, this is not a priority. You know what I'm saying? We trying to find out who killed OJ wife. Because that was around that time. They found out at that time. Disregard
Hold
that.
on.
No,
I
It's
they was
know.
real
2008.
mad about that one.
I got the time mixed up. Know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna even take that out because you know what, man? OJ did it. Anyway, so to
What does
them,
that have to do?
And they knew he
What?
did it.
We're in 2002. Your timeline is all messed up.
I just wanted to say OJ did it. All right. So it
And
wasn't
I
a
just want to
priority
say
for
Everybody
them.
know he did that shit.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? They didn't see it as a national security threat. So they were not pressed. Let's be honest. We know what it is. You know what I'm saying? It was a black woman murdered in 1994, right? This wasn't moving the needle. The FBI wasn't in a rush whatsoever. So while Hadel is pushing, the system is still dragging. And it took 3. Now think about this, y'all. This man decides he's in a position to make decisions, tells them to do it. It still takes 3 years before a blood sample were finally tested. 3 years. Do y'all know my uncle? Know what I'm saying? They found my uncle in less than 4 months when he was running from child support. And they took this nigga 3 years to test samples. That let you know they really did not care about old girl. And the
Yeah,
crazy
one thing about the justice system back then, they sure didn't care about
and
black
the
women.
crazy
They
part,
Even now,
still
they
don't.
don't.
yes.
I was gonna say,
They
even now, they
still
don't.
don't.
And the crazy
Still
part
don't.
is this ain't like a case of a random person. She worked for these niggas.
They don't care. She's still black.
Damn.
They don't care.
They just
So
consider her one of the good niggers.
Yeah.
Already
mhm.
are.
And look, you see that shit? Y'all like that. Go ahead, Tiffany. My bad. Oh shit.
Anyway, so like I said, we're in 2005 right now. Technology's caught up. They test that blood, and guess what? It comes back that it belongs to a man. A man. So now you're like, okay, we're gonna circle back around to the person who was our biggest suspect from day one, Andre. But the problem is they can't find this nigga. He done moved out of California. He done relocated. They cannot find him. Like they are looking and look, they cannot find this man. But they get a little, it gets a little interested. So Andre Jr., his son, he gets arrested on an unrelated charge. So you know when you get arrested, they make you give your DNA. So now they have the son's DNA. And that allows them to do something called familial DNA testing, which basically tells you if the DNA from the crime scene is closely related to someone in the system. So they run it, and y'all, it comes back a match
Damn.
to the family. So, meaning the blood on Marie's car belonged to someone closely related to Andre Jr., which means that Andre is back at the top of the list. And this time they have science backing it up. So they finally, y'all, it took them another 3 years to find this man.
Damn. That's
Well,
crazy
at this
work.
point, it's 6. He 3 for 3 now. Andre is up 6, and y'all need to get this man before he strike again.
Yes. Damn.
Like, no, it's more than 6. This happened in 94. We're in 2008, 2008? Like, this is
Ooh.
crazy. So they finally find him in Tempe, Arizona, living his life. 1, 2, 3. Living his life, sucking up all the free air, and they go pick him up, like I said, in April of 2008. They extradite his ass back to California, and they set a $1 million bond. And guess
Yeah.
what? He couldn't afford that shit, so he had to sit in jail. And they let his ass sit too for 4 years. Count them 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 years. And for the first
Good.
time since '94, Andre's not going anywhere.
Real
And
quick.
good for him.
Yeah, real quick. Did they ever give him the? Cause I don't know. Did they ever give him a DNA test? They had to, right?
They
Wouldn't you
probably
think?
did. It didn't say, but
Okay.
I'm sure they did.
Yeah, I was just going. Yeah.
Yeah, because he was in the system, so I'm sure they did.
Okay.
All right. So now the prosecution is building their case. They've got the blood from the hood. They've got the DNA from Andre Marie's fingernails. But there's an issue. They don't have proof beyond reasonable doubt that Andre killed her. And that fingerprint DNA, a good defense attorney can try to explain that away. They were married. They lived together. His DNA was everywhere. So being under her fingernails isn't shocking on its own. So prosecutors are being careful because they do not wants to bring the case to trial and lose. It's already been years. Her family's waited long enough. So the district attorney offers Andre a deal: voluntary manslaughter. He would have had to serve roughly another year in prison, and then he would have been free. Case closed. No trial, no risk. But Andre, he's cocky, y'all, cousin. He's confident. So he says he's innocent and he ain't taking no deal. He want to go to trial.
Dumbass.
The trial be okay. He said, "I'm going to trial," and because in his mind, they don't have enough, and the prosecution basically says, "All right, then let's go."
That nigga dumb.
It's
Did we have another case
Big
like that?
dumb.
Yeah, did we have another case like that, Tiffany, where they offered him something?
probably it's not ringing at that
Yeah, it
one, but
was
I'm sure
something.
we did.
Yeah.
These niggas be stupid. So
Yeah, real stupid.
real stupid. You've already done four. Just do the last year and you would have been out. Just done. But anyway, the prosecution, they did have a problem though. They didn't have any witnesses. Like nobody saw Marie disappear. Nobody saw what happened that night. Marcus was 8. He didn't wake up and see his mom being killed. He just woke up and she was gone. So for years there was no direct eyewitnesses tying Andre to the murder. But then prosecutors bring Marcus in for an interview. Remember, he's grown at this point because it's 2008, 2000. No, shoot, he said it for 4 years. Shoot, we in 2000, what, 12, 13, somewhere
2012.
around here.
Yeah, 2012. Yeah.
Yeah, like, golly. So, whew, this is the man that raised him, right? The only father he really knew. So imagine being asked to testify against somebody you love and possibly sending him to prison for killing your mother. So they said like Marcus was reluctant. Like, of course he was. He didn't want to believe it or see it. But when they sat him down, he remembered something about the night. Not the night that Marie disappeared, but an incident before that. It was actually October 1st, 1994. And Marcus said he heard Andre and Marie screaming, arguing, and his mother told him to call 911. But at the same time, Andre's telling him not to call 911. So imagine being 8 years old. Your mom is telling you to dial for help. Your stepfather is telling you, don't you dare. You're confused, scared, and you don't know who to listen to. So, but he said he heard his mom say, "You hit me." And then he heard Andre say, "No, you hit me first." And he said Marie was like, "I didn't hit you." Like, and she tells Marcus again, call 911. But then she tries to grab the phone herself. But Marcus said Andre grabbed her, puts his hand over her mouth and over her throat. Now, Marcus is watching his mother be physically restrained. So he runs and tries to grab the phone himself because now this isn't just arguing. He sees his mother being hurt. And right there, that's not speculation anymore. That's domestic violence. That's control. That's force. And now the prosecution has finally has something that they didn't have before, an eyewitness to violence in the home. So they don't have theory or suspicion and not just holes in drywalls, but they have an 8-year-old boy who saw it.
When they get to trial, the prosecution came ready, right? But the biggest issue, Marcus did not want to testify. And that made sense. That was the only father he really knew. Fuck, man, you got me fucked up, man. Nigga, I don't give a shit who you killed my mama, nigga. I'm testifying, nigga. Shit, nigga, I didn't snitch for less. You know what I'm saying? So
We
shit, yeah.
know.
Don't do that. So you asking this man to sit down in the courtroom and point out the man basically saying you hurt my mama. That's heavy. They subpoenaed him. He still didn't show. Police had to step in and make it clear you're coming because without him, the case is weak. So he finally gets on the stand and he tells the jury what he saw the night in October. The screaming, his mom telling him to call 911, Andre telling him not to, Andre grabbing her, hand over the mouth, hand on the throat. That's not gossip, right? That's not drywall holes. That's a child seeing violence. But then the prosecution says, oh, We ain't done yet. Nah, player, we got more. They pulled Andre's phone records, and guess how many times he called Marie the night she went missing? One call. That's it, just one.
That don't sound like nobody who scared their wife is missing. You call once.
Okay, he don't sound too concerned to
And the
me.
crazy part is the sister says she can't even remember how many times she pays her sister. Like it was that many times. And this nigga called one time.
And
That's
that's your wife, mind you. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. No offense though, but dude need his head beat for not trying to testify. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna throw
He
it out
need his
there.
head put between a washer and dryer
Yes,
for
you
real.
do, my nigga. I don't
It's
care if you
stuck
would.
there.
I don't care if you would wearing a rose on your tuxedo, my nigga. You need your ass beat for sitting up there not testifying about something you saw your mama dead. Come on, man. Get your life
You
together.
already look casket sharp. Somebody need to go and put
Exactly.
him in
Go ahead
some.
and take them out. You know what I'm saying? Now you can be with your mama. So anyway, so my wife is gone. I'm calling into the phone die. Real talk. But you call once, that does not scream worried husband. That screams something else. And then they bring in what everybody already knew. Andre was controlling, needed to know where she was, who she is with, knows at what time she was coming home. And Marie had told people she was leaving weeks away from packing up and being done. So now the jury just, saying they looking and seeing the full picture, a controlling ass man, a woman about to leave, and suddenly she ends up in the trunk of her own car. Nigga.
So the prosecution wasn't playing with Andre. They didn't come in with just vibes. They came in with experts. They actually hired forensic analysts to break down the crime scene. And basically, his job was to look at everything where Marie was found, how the car was left, and what was being done to the scene, and answer one big question: was it real or was it staged? Because sometimes the way a crime scene looks is not the way it actually happened. Sometimes the offender tries to make it look like something else. So the expert assesses the behavior behind the crime. What kind of person would do this? What kind of motive would fit? What does it say when somebody's body is being placed in the trunk? The batteries removed and the car is left near the airport. It tells a story. And his conclusion was that this wasn't random. This wasn't Marie just disappearing. This was a controlled situation, a scene that looked like it had been staged to distract from what really happened.
Yeah, so basically, what the forensic expert said was Marie was not the type of woman to just go quietly. She was confident, she was strong. You know what I'm saying? She was smart, strong. And if somebody put their hands on her or tried to intimidate her, she wasn't just going to sit there and take it. She would fight back. And when they looked at her life, they found something very important. Marie did not have any enemies. She wasn't out here caught up in drama. The only real issue she had going on was her marriage. That was it. There was no evidence she had been followed, no evidence she was being harassed, and definitely no evidence that she was sneaking around with some ex boyfriend or running off to Mexico like Andre tried to suggest. That was just noise. Marie was a loving mom. Her kids were her world. This is not a woman who would abandon her baby and her 8-year-old overnight. That does not match who she was. And on top of that, Maria was very, very put together. You know what I'm saying? Tight. What do you say? Tight like leather and well put together. Always dressed right, always intentional, always aware. Now let's talk about the setup at her home. She lived in a townhouse community with the gates, right? Remote control access, security fencing. Not just anybody can walk up in there. In the area itself, it wasn't some high crime neighborhood where random strangers snatching people up. So the expert said, looking at all of this, Marie didn't put herself in danger. This wasn't random. This wasn't her, elevating her own risk. The evidence points to one thing, and that one thing was Maria was killed at home and then placed in her car afterward. Meanwhile, whoever did this was close, was comfortable, and knew exactly what they were doing.
Now, when the ME got on that stand, the details got real. So they explained that Marie's body was found in the trunk, but the way that she was positioned told them something important. Her legs were bent up towards her hips because if her legs had been stretched out, she wouldn't even have fit in the trunk, meaning someone didn't just find her there. Somebody put her there, and not gently either. They said her right leg was pushed up and her body was positioned in a way that was consistent with someone literally shoving her deep inside the trunk, pushing on her leg and her butt area to make her fit. So, y'all, this was not an accident. It was not random. That was someone trying to hide a body. And then they get to the cause of death. Marie did not just die from mysterious illness. She didn't just disappear. Like we said, the medical examiner said her cause of death was manual strangulation. Hands, somebody's hands around her neck. And on top of that, there was evidence of a blow to the head before she died. So let's call it what it is. She was attacked, strangled, and then she was stuffed into the trunk of her own car like she was nothing. And I'm sorry, y'all, that is not a stranger crime. That is personal, that is rage, and that is somebody who was close enough to put their hands on her in the first place.
Yeah, so now let's walk through this kind of slow because this part right here, this is where it really falls apart for Andre. First, the baby car seat. It had been removed from Marie's car. And people close to her said the car seat was never taken out on a normal day. So right there, something unusual already happened. Then look at where the car was found, near Dock Weiler Beach, right? Marie didn't jog, she didn't run, and she did not like the beach. So why is her car sitting there somewhere she would never voluntarily go? That's right too. Now let's talk about this car. This was some basic vehicle. It had an electronic locking system, meaning you couldn't just casually lock it up any kind of way. To lock all the doors and the hatch from the outside with a key, you had to know exactly what you were doing. And here's the tricky part. The hood had its own special release inside the car under the left side of the dashboard. You couldn't just pop it from the outside. So if somebody removes the battery, which they did, that complicates everything. Because once the battery is out, there's no power, no electricity. You can't electronically lock the car anymore. So think about the order this had to happen in, right? If someone killed Maria at home, which the evidence suggests, and then put her in her trunk, they would have had to drive the car to the beach, make sure the hood was already popped from the inside before they got out, lock the car from the outside with the key while it still had power, then open the hood, remove the battery, and leave. Nigga, that's not random. That's not panic.
No, because it can't be random. That's just too much. It takes a lot of thought and time to do all that. A random person that's attacking you is not going to do all that.
Hell no. That's somebody who understands the car, who knows the locking system, who's comfortable enough to take their time. And let's not forget, this was an uncommon vehicle. This wasn't something just anybody would know how to manipulate, right? So when you line all this up, it starts looking real like deliberate, real control, real familiar. And Cuzzos, that don't sound like a stranger.
All right, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up because the prosecution really laid it out. Like, there was no sexual assault, her clothes weren't torn up, and nothing about this looked like some random attack or robbery. Please. No jewelry was taken, no valuables were missing, her credit cards weren't being used like somebody was out here on a shopping spree. So, that financial motive angle, it was dead. Strangulation, personal. Hands on, rage. That is somebody close. Now, yes, they said the crime scene looked staged like somebody wanted to seem like it was about money or a stranger, but baby, it was poorly executed. Like, sir, you tried it and failed. So at this point, Andre decides he's gonna take the stand himself because you know how they do. He get up there talking about some, I love my wife. I would never hurt my wife. I would never kill my wife. All right, Andre.
I would never hurt her.
Exactly. Never. Meanwhile, the
That's no.
jury's just sitting there like, because they heard the evidence, they've heard about the violence, the controlling behavior, they heard about Marie trying to leave, they heard about the blood, they heard about her being stuffed in the trunk like trash. So when Andre gets up there with his little speech, they didn't believe a word of his lying ass. And to be honest, he was up there old, balding, rotund, unfortunate in the face, trying to convince people he was just a loving husband. Sir, please. And the jury said, absolutely, absolutely not. We're not able to play these games with you, sir. And they convicted him of second degree murder. He was sentenced to 25 years to life. Now listen, here's the part that'll make your stomach turn because Marie was killed in 1994. Andre was not convicted until 2012. That is 18 years of her family waiting, 18 years of her sons growing up without their mother, and 18 years of basically Andre walking around like nothing happened. Now, unfortunately, this nigga is eligible for parole this year in June. I don't know
Damn.
why.
I hope you don't get it.
I hope he don't get it either.
What they say, I bet you don't get none. I bet you don't get it.
I hope
Yeah.
you don't get it. I hope
I
you don't
hope
get
you
it.
get it. So After his conviction in 2012, Andre wasn't done trying. He claimed that the trial court made mistakes, specifically saying that the judge should not have allowed the former FBI expert to testify about the crime scene assessment. Basically, he was trying to argue that the expert's analysis shouldn't have been heard by the jury. It was invalid. So now he did get a very small modification. The court credited him with 225 days of conduct credit. But other than that, the conviction stood. The court affirmed it. And here's the part that's almost unbelievable. If Andre had taken the voluntary manslaughter deal, the ones he got and denied and said he going to go ahead and take it to trial, he would have been out. No long trial, no life sentence hanging over his head. But arrogance is a motherfucker, if nothing else. So it will have you thinking, one, two, three. But arrogance will have you thinking you're smarter than the system. And in this case, it caught up with them. So now all that's left is to hope that Marie is finally resting in peace and that her family, after nearly 2 decades of waiting, has some form of closure.
And there you go. That was the case. Um, Let me ask real quick. Let's each up. Why do you think he did it? Let me start with you, Tiffany.
Typical nigga shit. She was about to leave your ass. He couldn't take it. He had an ego.
What about you, Mia?
For me, it was just the constant, oh, I gotta go. I have something else to do besides help y'all look for her. And then for me, why are you showing up at the police station? It's not that they don't already know she's missing. And it's not like you're out looking. You're supposed to be, at this point, you're supposed to be out looking for her. So the fact that you're in the police station, knowing that, I guess, that they have her car now, yeah, lock them up right now underneath the jail.
That's crazy. That's right. All right, well, there you guys go. That was the case, man. If you let us know what you think. You can always leave us a comment on the Spotify, as well as a what you call that? What else they leave a girl to comment and what else is called the that's why I
A
don't do this part.
review.
Apple
A review.
Podcast.
Yeah, the review. Make sure y'all leave us a
There you
review.
go.
Yes. So know what I'm saying? So yeah, there we
And
go.
make sure it's 5 star because we don't want to hear shit else.
I know. So did you enjoy yourself, Mia? Did you enjoy yourself?
You know what? I let you slide. My name is Maya.
Maya, well, nigga, you know what I meant. Oh, I call you Mia.
Yes,
Oh,
it's all
I
right.
don't
It's
know
all
why
right.
you didn't correct that man from the get go because I'm over here just rolling with it. I'm just like, oh, okay.
oh, my bad. I mean, it could be Maya or Mia. I mean, that's not that.
I know,
Yeah.
and it's funny. I put an extra A, and I realized that doesn't help at
It
all.
don't. It
So
don't. It's just Mia or Maya. Nigga, that's all you did, nigga. We just, yeah, holding
my
on.
bad, my bad. But honestly, yes, I did enjoy myself. Thank y'all so much for having me. It was a pleasure. I hope I put my
No, you
2 years
did
of
good.
church plays
Yeah.
to use.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. And not only that, you could
A
tell you
BET award, as you say.
yeah, and not only that, you could tell you actually listen to the podcast faithfully because some of your little ad libs
I
is fit perfect.
do.
So we appreciate that. We truly do.
I
So,
love y'all. Honestly,
we love you
I
too,
love
man.
Black true crime
Yes.
as a
Oh,
whole,
one
but
last
y'all
thing.
definitely one of
One
my
last
favorite
thing.
ones.
What you doing
Thank
for
you.
what you doing for fuck all that. What you
Yeah.
doing for Valentine's Day?
Well, right now I'm in Dave's Hot Chicken. I don't know if y'all heard the chatter when I opened the door. I had to come back out.
Oh, Dave's Hot Chicken. Yeah. Okay. Well, look. Go.
Yeah, I got a resort stay planned. Me and my man, we finna go have fun.
Oh, there you go. Well, look. Make sure you enjoy yourself, baby. And if y'all decide to bring a biracial baby in this world, man, just he will be welcome, and we'll make sure he have a Melanin Mysteries onesie. All right.
But yeah, I know he might be a little off, but we're gonna try our best to raise him the best. I
I
know they
love
don't get
it.
it right. They don't get a good rep.
I love it. All right, then take us out, Tiffany.
All right, so just remember to make sure that love does not come with a life sentence. So please choose freedom and not felonies.
All right, we
All
out.
right,
All
and
right.
we're out.
Yes, enjoy yourself.